Aquarian Pools and Spas. If you can dream it, they can build it. More than 50 years in business. Start your dream pool today. Aquarian Pools and Spas. 803-732-3636.
This has become purely unacceptable when 3 of historically the 4 worst years in basketball have occurred. This is fixable, by the way, folks. Tyler, you would agree.
Yeah.
It ain't like this is a dead program that we just look at and go, throw it in the can. It's never fixable.
Yeah, no, it's and look, in today's era, when it comes to just being able to put money at things, it's an easier turnaround than maybe it's been in years past. But throwing money at something doesn't guarantee success, and I think you see that with LSU and Matt McMahon. They were
well. You look at Kentucky, right?
You look at Kentucky as the highest spender, but LSU last year, based on the numbers that were reported, was at the bottom of the SEC with South Carolina in terms of what they spent. They upped their investment this year, kind of to that $8 to $10 million range, based on what's been reported. And they had the exact same record of 3-15 in conference play. So it's not just throwing money at it and expecting it to be better. There are other elements of it too that you do have to improve on, which is going to be where Lamont Paris is going to have to prove himself. Like, all right, it seems like the money's going to be there to be more competitive in the SEC based on what we think those numbers are going to be. You still got to go out there and properly evaluate the talent, develop guys when they get here to where when they get on the court, they are the players that you need. And again, Kentucky's the example of, bringing a bunch of high level, high dollar guys that don't end up translating when they come here and playing. So money's not the only thing you have to do. You have to be able to execute with what you have to.
The NCAA men's tournament, the Final Four is anticlimactic to me. Everything, all the fun occurs the first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then you get to the Final Four, and it's kind of like, okay, that's here, that's cool, and I'm with you. Hypothetically, Michigan, Arizona, Duke could all be eliminated at some point.
I would say the national championship game in men's basketball is the least,
I'm with you,
exciting.
But I'll flip it around. The women, the first 2 weekends are kind of boring and anticlimactic. But then the Final Four for the women is phenomenal.
Yes.
I've come around to this.
I would agree with that because, typically you have your handful of, 5 to maybe 8 teams have a realistic shot of winning the thing. Most all of them end up surviving into that Elite 8 to Final Four round, where the men's side, you get upsets. You may have a team that's a Cinderella make a run deep into the Sweet 16 or Elite 8. And you're like, well, that's a cool story, but Duke probably would have been a better team to watch in the Elite 8 or something along those lines. So it is interesting the dynamic, how different those two tournaments are.